Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is almost the 4th of July. That makes today your Monday market moment, July 3rd. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to focus on Palm Springs today, and I'm going to go through the numbers very quickly, and then I'm going to show you a demonstration that really kind of speaks to where we are in this market right now. I'm going to share my screen as I always do, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Jason Allen. I'm a real estate agent and a real estate planner based in Palm Springs, California. I service the entire Coachella Valley, and yeah, that's what I do. That's who I am, and I work for Keller Williams. So here we are with Palm Springs. I'm going to start with single family units, so single family homes. And as I always like to remind folks, we're comparing this May with last May. June just ended, so it takes us 2 or 3 weeks before we get the numbers. But I haven't done the May numbers for Palm Springs yet, as I recall. So here we go. Very quickly, unit sales, 43. I want you to notice that while we are down from a year ago, we are up from the month before. And that is based on the numbers, but also my experience. I'm seeing more buyers back into the marketplace. Median sales price for a single family dwelling, half of the homes sold above this, half of the homes sold below that. So we had over 21 homes sell above $1.2 million. So our market is still very strong. Let's see, inventory is up. That's good for buyers. It means you have choices. Days on market is a little bit longer. Sales to list price, that's this here. Basically, if we go down to here and we see how many units sold at or above list price, that pushes this number up on an average. So we're not seeing huge price reductions until you get into more than one or more. And in those cases, we're seeing it at about an 8% price reduction off of the original price. That just means that some sellers are still pricing it during, like, as if it were COVID times. Inventory is up, again, also very good for buyers. Down here, if you can see at the bottom, 30% of our of that 43 sold within 30 days. Within 60 days, almost half had sold, and then about 3/4 sold after 90 days. That extra quarter either didn't sell, that went into expired, canceled, withdrawn, or maybe is still on the market, because we do have some properties that are way over 100, 200 days. It's crazy. I'm going to go over to condos very quickly. Unit sales, 58, up from the previous month. So you see buyers are in the marketplace. Median sales price is down. For buyers, that's a great thing. Inventory is up. Again, buyers, good for you. You're seeing more properties to choose from. Days on market, about 48 days. Sales to list price. The prices of condos have really adjusted. And as a consequence, you're seeing bargains in the marketplace. But keep in mind that while you have some negotiating power as a buyer, it doesn't mean you get to steal the whole deal, because still, well, let me skip down here. 35% are going above the asking price. Sellers are wising up, they're pricing them well and moving them. We have about 3 months supply of inventory, and we consider 6 months supply a balanced market. So technically we're still in a seller's market, but there's still a lot of nervousness in the marketplace. Down here, 38% of listings sold within 30 days, 71 within 60, and then almost all sell within 90 days. All right, here's what I wanted to do very well. Let me go very quickly. This is another chart I like to show. I'll scroll it. You can always hit pause and look at these numbers more closely. What I like about this chart is that it breaks it into various price points. So yeah, you get to see market segments. And this is for houses. I'll flip over to condos and scroll slowly if you want to look and make a pause of your video so you can see them. All right, I wanted to just grab a couple of examples of condos. And here's what, in my experience, people will often do if they're relocating here from outside the area. They're either wanting to buy a second home, so they're going to go for a condo. Sometimes they'll go for a house. They'll buy a condo, start spending a few summers and winters here periodically to get a sense of whether they like the environment or not. And then the theory is they'll buy a house, Either hold the condo and rent it out, income as you retire, or they'll sell that to leverage into their next purchase. Typically, people will buy at least a 2-bedroom and at least a 2-bath. That way, if friends come to visit, they have a place for them. All right, before we look at that page, I'm gonna go over here. What essentially I did is and remember, we have both fee simple, that's land you own, or lease land property. I can sort based on that criteria. So I just did a very quick search for condos in Palm Springs that are 2-bedroom, 2-bath between $400,000 and $500,000 on fee simple land. That's land you own. That's what most people are familiar with. I got 24 hits. Now, I don't steer people one way or the other, but I can tell you some of these have issues in their complex, lawsuits, other reasons why purchasing them is going to be very difficult or may not be the wisest investment. Others are fantastic. And I grabbed 3 right here. Great opportunities on all of these. Quick, write them down, call your agent. I'm okay with that. Here's what's really fascinating. Because the state of California licenses all agents to technically do business anywhere in the state, we often have sellers that will hire a real estate agent based in some other part of the state who don't really know our market, and they don't necessarily have access on the same side when they put into their MLS what we would put in if we were here. A case in point is the community name. So I looked down this list and I know of 2 units that are a great older development. And I'm kind of shocked that they haven't sold yet. One went into contract, came back out. I looked down this list and I don't see it. So then I came over here and I searched based on this community. And what do I see? One agent, the agent for this one, not in our marketplace. This agent, not in our marketplace. Or at least they're not using the same interface that our local MLS or association has us use. So my point is, and that's not to disparage these 2 agents. I'm sure they're great agents, but when a seller does that, they disadvantage themselves in some way. So anybody that does this basic search, maybe through Redfin or something like that, isn't necessarily going to see these 2 opportunities. And let me tell you, if you're okay with a townhouse, and by that I mean an attached condo that has stairs, both of these are phenomenal. Primarily because they are on fee simple land. Second, they both need to be rehabbed. So I'm just the kind of guy that doesn't want to buy someone else's taste in appliances and cabinetry and countertops. It's walking distance to the airport, and each have a 2-car garage. So it's like you could if you're coming here from Minneapolis, you have a car parked in your garage, you land at the airport, you walk 15 minutes to your front door, and ta-da, you're in Palm Springs. I mean, it could not be sweeter in so many ways. Now, if you want a patio home, I understand that. By patio home, I mean a 1-story home, no problem. But if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe even 60s and still find stairs to be an okay thing, it's such a no-brainer. And once renovated, you have upside. Now, obviously, if you put $200,000 into it, you're going to have more trouble getting that back. But a good 30, 40, 50, and you're still golden. And the fact that it has a 2-car garage is phenomenal. Now, in this particular development, you cannot do short-term rental, but you could do a 30-day rental for snowbirds. So there's so much upside. If you are thinking of buying a home, I'm going to stop my screen share and just end with, if you are thinking of buying a home in Palm Springs, there is opportunity today. You're not going to walk in and get the same opportunity that was available in 2010, 2011, 2012. But the opportunity may get slightly better over the next few months. I don't think it's going to. We may have another window just before, like 4 or 5 months before the election. Generally speaking, in my experience of doing this for 16 years, people get nervous around elections. So any sort of discretionary buy, a second home, falls into that category. they'll wait. But I can tell you that as soon as that passes, the economy is strong. Whomever wins the presidential election or the House and the Senate, they're going to capitalize on this phenomenal economy we have right now. Inflation is under control, or getting more so. I mean, federal government's target is 2 to 3% a year. We're at 4%. We're not way off. We're not in the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, wherever we were 5 months, 6 months ago. My point is that if you are thinking about making the purchase and value is important to you, now is the time for you to call your real estate agent. Now is the time to be looking. And if you bought either of those 2 condos, made modest improvements, you would still be in the money. You would still be in the black. That's all I have for you today. As always, it's a pleasure for me to bring these to you. Don't hesitate to call. My number is scrolling at the bottom, or you can follow the link, and that's it. Have a terrific holiday. Happy 4th.